television. I'm TV. I'm the host of Truth Viral. Today we're going to be doing a little bit different. I'm going to try to change it up, bring some more actual screenshots for you guys. Need to check something here. Going to kind of go through the works here, see if we're actually, looks like we're up and recording, so have a little bit of difficulty figuring out where these save files are at, so this isn't my first attempt at this. But first of all, I bring this information to you because we all have a routine in our life, which is not always the best thing. Change is good, so I encourage you to embrace change. The world is changing very quick around us, and so please be aware of the changes that are going on, and you need to adapt if you're going to overcome. It says it in the book, we need to overcome. So I like to get up generally before the sun comes up. It's a really good part of the day. Even when the birds aren't chirping, it's not very loud. So again, first thing I do is I get up, and obviously I give praise to the Most High to start my day. Ask Him for strength, ask Him for guidance, ask Him to give me patience. Never pray for rewards or things of that nature, always praying for His will. So again, I want to show you again a little bit about how I get my news. This isn't the only way I get my news, but these are some ways to unfortunately a little bit of a habit that I formed. So obviously, the first thing I do when I get up is say my praise to the Most High. Then I might wet my whistle, get something to drink, take the dogs out. You might hear some dogs in the background. If you do, I apologize. I do have animals, good security, whatnot. But if I'm going to open up the internet, I caution you on what you put in your search bar, because this beast system, the Most High, not only is the NSA watching, but the Most High watches everything you put in your search bar. So please be aware of what you're choosing to look at and what you're not. So let's get into this, okay? Drudge Report, that's what I've got pulled up here in front of you. Obviously, we've got the trumpets are sounding. I don't see it right there, but the trumpets are sounding, folks. Pay attention. Okay, oh, there we go. Buchanan, what Trump has wrought nationalism. Wrought. I think it's a little bit of a misspelling there. Maybe not. Okay. Run on bank. Look, let's click on one of these articles here. Trump would make Mexico pay for the wall by blocking money transfers. Let's click on that. Click on that article. It'll bring you to the Washington Post. Trump reveals how he would force Mexico to pay for the border wall. So if you scroll down here, you can click on each one of these. They'll show an article. The link is below. Let me click back. I'll show you on the Drudge. I know a lot of people have been on the Drudge, folks. Maybe people are just coming into the light. If you look down here, you'll see all the links to each one of these. There's the Washington right there. Okay, all the links to each one of these. There's some other neat features such as the weather action and the quake sheet. I'll show you a little further down in the video on this, how I use that. But again, you can click on each one of these links. They'll bring you to the news article, and then you click back and go on each one of these. Okay, sometimes it'll be highlighted in red. That is what Mr. Matthew Drudge deems important, I guess, for the moment. So again, I like to check and see how the stock market's doing. That's not an indicator. We all know these things have been manipulated, but it's kind of see what they're doing with it. Looks like the stock market's down 126 points today. It is showing that right now it is 1:15 p.m. That would probably be on the East Coast. It is the 5th of April. And so another thing that you can do that I like to check is the metal markets. Okay, you can also find the other markets here, the Asian markets. Let's click on that. Looks like the Nikkei's down 390 points, the Hang Seng's down 346 points. S&P down 70. All the Asian markets are down over there in China. European markets down. Look at this, they're all down. The DAX is all the way down 258 points. All the US market look like, you know, crashing, folks. Where are you putting your money at right now? Kitco, I mentioned Kitco. That's why I clicked on this link. This is a precious metals website that'll give you up-to-date information. You go back and refresh in your browser, and it'll keep refreshing that for you, give you up-to-date information. It takes some time to, depending on how long you're on it, to update it, but looks like we're at 1511. Silver closed out at 1590 yesterday. Is that correct? Yep. Looks like, well, it's up 21 cents. So we can come over here. They have live charts, historical charts. Let's click on gold, see where gold's at. Looks like gold is at 12.28 from 12.15, so up 13 bucks. Okay, and some change. You can go and look at the historical markets. There's live. They also have platinum, palladium, and rhodium on their technical charts. Kitco, a great place to look at precious metal information. If I really want to get a little bit more, you know, there is Facebook. I don't really believe, I don't do a lot of Facebook stuff, but, you know, there is YouTube, which you're on now. Obviously, please look. If anybody, I don't know who you subscribe to or where you're getting your information, but a lot of people put current information up on YouTube, up to date, live streams, whatnot, things like that. So, you know, who are you subscribing to? What kind of information are you getting? Are you subscribed to a bunch of garbage channels, watching a bunch of crap? It's an evil world. You need to trim that stuff off of your life. It does not make the Most High very happy when you could be watching something to better yourself and quit being a service to self-being and start servicing others. But again, you can do what you want with your life. It's up to you, but I encourage you to be careful who you subscribe to and what you watch. It's okay to have a little entertainment in our life, but, you know, again, the NSA is watching everything you do, and so is the Most High. So please be aware. Great resource, probably one of the best resources on the planet right now, YouTube. So just be careful what you're searching out, and I encourage you to unsubscribe to stuff that's just not doing anything for your life. Start filling that with some things that'll better yourself and, again, help service other people and not just yourself. So please take a look at these this information that I put in front of you. Let's take another look at some other information that, if you're looking at information for where you can find different stuff on the economy. Again, I'm going to do a video on just who I subscribe, because I watch world markets. I watch every market. I don't just watch the United States market. So another way, let me click on this, the Baltic Dry Index. You guys know what the Baltic Dry Index is? Look, back in February it was down below 300. Back in November it was up at 600. I mean, this is ridiculous. But actually it's come way back up, as you can see on this chart. So the Baltic Dry Index is the markets as far as dry goods and things like that being shipped around the world. So as you can see, we almost came to a standstill back in February. We're back up again. So please, I talked about on the Drudge Report that I would talk about some other ways. Weather is something I find important that I like to watch. You can go on and click on the radar report. That was on that link. I'll show you here again. Let's click back on that. You can find the same link down here in the weather action. This is the latest radar roll. There it is. Okay. This is an animated. You can click on the area in your area. This will show you wherever you're at. And if we click on, go back here, let's see that we also have a satellite shot. Getting another dragon looking image going here again. I've seen this a lot with these low pressure type of systems that have been coming across our globe. So that is the satellite shot. You come back over here, You'll also see that we have a quake sheet. I have that right here. Same thing. Okay. If you zoom out, you'll see, wow, look at this ring of fire ramping up here. I did a video earlier, and this 5.1 just had hit the Philippines, and it showed up as a red spot. So obviously by color, indicating color, hour, day, week, other, okay, these are indicating on times. If you click on something that's near like an ocean, you'll see it'll show you whether there's a tsunami watch, what kind of effect it'll have. Again, look at these earthquakes. Look at that. Is that a second one in Nevada? That looks like a second one. Dutch Sense. If you want to see somebody who can predict earthquakes, he predicted this one. He predicted this one inland. What he's doing is he's watching these open areas between where you see pressure building up between the two, like he called some in here. Again, he called this one and this one in the United States. We had one over there, Wanda Fuca. Obviously, earthquake forms because of fracking over here in Oklahoma, down here in Chile, and over here in the Philippines. Look at this. Okay, he's talking about all this pressure right here pushes it across the craton of the U.S. and again out and pushes it around. So from the ring of fire this way and around, and then along the craton down, and then out into the Atlantic Bridge out here. Okay, so if you hadn't seen Dutch Sense, boy, you're really missing out. So I think the greatest way to find the weather, if you ask me, though, is to watch the sun. Okay, so I'm going to bring you over here to SolarHam, and you can take a look. Look at our sun, blank, no sunspots, just unreal. It's been like this for months and months and months. This is our solar flares. You can see it's, click on that, looking pretty flat, almost just flat line. C-class, M-class X flares. Okay, let's go back here. This is our KP index. Okay, this is when we're getting bombarded. See down in here it shows 0 to 3, 4, 5, and 6 in red, 7 to 9 in purple. That's the highest, but we've been getting, we don't have any sunspots, but we've been getting bombarded kind of on a almost like a cycle, if you look here, by solar radiation. So you can find out whether we are getting hit or not if you come back over here to the active watches. If there's a geomagnetic storm or radiation storm, if that's happening, that's going to show, you'll see that in the Aurora Borealis, because we're getting bombarded by radiation. Those pretty lights are actually a horrible, horrible thing that's happening. So you can find the forecast on that. You can look at our solar wind speed and solar density right here. These are actual charts. Let me show you. You can actually find it. Here's a chart that actually show it visually. Okay. Again, solar temperature, solar wind speed, solar density, the phi angles. Okay. Again, all of this stuff here. These are great ways to know when the weather is going to be and where it's going to hit. And a lot of this stuff is pretty simple to figure out. It's not rocket science. So, speaking of rockets, you can take a rocket around the sun, put up a satellite. These are all the different satellites in different filters. Obviously, we do not see in all spectrums. Dogs can hear dog whistles when you don't. Radiation is clear, not hot pink. Okay, look at all these different images, because these are different filters that are around our sun. I don't know why that one's not clicking on. There we go, speaking of pink. Look at that sun, nothing. Okay, this would show our sunspots, whether they're, well, look at that. Tiny little, there's no mixing, there's no red or blue. As you can see on this, there's blue and red. Red being negative, blue being positive. Kind of a backwards thing on the sun. Everything is reversed. But take a look at this information. What an extremely informative website. If you really want to know how the weather is going to be, where it's going to hit, this stuff you can watch. The sun is not just sunspots. We also have other things on our sun. are star, such as coronal holes, hole streams. We have coronal mass ejections, solar filaments. There's tons of imagery. You can watch this in live time. Guys, this is probably one of the best websites on the internet. Solarham.com, solarham.net. There's also some amateur radio station there if you're a solar ham, your ham radio buff. So again, YouTube, please be aware of what you're looking at. Be careful what you're putting in your search bar. Please, we know what's coming. We know what's going to happen next. Okay, it's obvious who's going to be our next president. This is not going to get better, so I encourage you to please be aware of what's going on. Adapt and overcome. Overcome. Please overcome all of this stuff. Put praise in what matters. Be more worthy of what happens when you die. Not so much worried about your life. You're not supposed to love your life. The Most High wants us to overcome our transgressions. He wants us to overcome these hard things, this hardship in our life. If it was all easy, we probably wouldn't enjoy anything. So that's why we're not all the same race and the same color. There is an elect people that are going to be decided in the end. Not everybody's going to see the bridegroom. So I warn you, there were 10 virgins and only 5 of them were wise. I'm going to keep repeating that, okay? Only 5 of them were wise. The others didn't have any oil in their lamps, so it's time for you to get prepared. Put that oil in your lamp. The Mashiach, the Messiah, is coming soon. The second coming of the Messiah. Trim off those things that are evil in your life. Trim off those things that are negative, that don't make him happy. Oh, we got a phone call. I better get off here, okay? I'm Truth Viral. Thanks for watching.